Today, we are practicing social distancing by conducting our meeting remotely. Please go to our website to gain information about accessing this meeting via Zoom video conferencing or through YouTube. At this time, I'd like to call to order the meeting of the North Brunswick Township Board of Education. Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Can we have a roll call, please?
Clarabelle Cortez.
Here.
David Brockman.
Here.
Gloria Gonzalez.
Here.
Colleen Keefe.
Here.
Howard Liu.
Here.
Richard Ligori.
Here.
Barry Duran Harris.
I'm unmuting. I'm sorry, Barry. You're good. Barry, you're unmuted in a minute.
Okay, here.
And David Brockman, I believe, is the only one else that I did not call.
Miss Rubin is here as well. Please.
And Tracy Rubin.
Here.
We have a quorum.
The Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Law, the public notice of this meeting, which included the time, date, and location, was distributed by 3 p.m. on Tuesday, March 24th, 2020 in the following manner. Posted on the bulletin board reserved for announcements in the board office, Old Georges Road, North Brunswick. Mailed to the Home News Tribune, Sentinel, and the clerk of the Township of North Brunswick, and delivered to the 9 duly elected members.
Ms. Gonzalez, your sound went out for a little bit, and you were unmuted. So would you mind if I'm just going to read it, the part where you left off? Would you mind if I read it over?
Yeah, sure. I'm not muted, but
Yeah, you weren't, but did everyone? I didn't hear her be able to read that because I lost sound. Maybe it was just my computer. So let's continue. Thank you. I can hear you now fine.
okay. Just want to take a moment to welcome all the public participating with us in this social distancing exercise that we are conducting our meeting remotely. And we welcome any questions or comments you may have following this meeting. It is, as I mentioned earlier, the meeting is being recorded and broadcast via YouTube as well as Zoom, and those links are available on our district website. Mr. Brockman, would you please take item, the meeting minutes, please, number 5?
Okay, hold on, Mr. Brockman. I will unmute you.
Make a motion to approve the following board meeting minutes. Conference meeting, February 19th, 2020. Executive session meeting, February 19th, 2020. Regular public meeting, February 26th, 2020. And the executive session meeting, February 26th, 2020.
All in favor?
So, Madam President, we're going to do a roll call vote.
Thank you.
We need a second.
Second.
That was Tracy, Miss Rubin for a second.
Yes, thank you. Here we go. Ready. Mr. Brockman.
Yes.
Mr. Brooks.
Wait, I got to unmute Mr. Brooks. Okay, Mr. Brooks.
Ms. Cortez.
Yes.
Mr. Duran Harris.
Yes.
Ms. Keefe.
Yes.
Mr. Ligori.
Mr. Legori? He's unmuted, according to
Yes,
my,
Rich?
he's frozen.
Okay, he's frozen. So let's go on and Mr. Lou,
Yes.
Ms. Rubin,
Yes.
and Ms. Gonzalez.
Yes.
Rich,
I think, yeah.
I think we're, are we okay to skip him? We have no
Yeah.
choice.
We have a motion carries.
Okay, motion, yes.
I don't know, Mr. Legori, if you can hear us. I don't know if you're using a phone, maybe call in. It looks like you're frozen. Oh, here we go. Are you there, Mr. Legori? He's frozen. He must be using a phone. That's what happens. So, Madam President, we're going to continue.
Yes, please. We had enough votes for this motion, correct?
Right, exactly.
Correct. Motion
Okay.
passes.
Let's move on then. We have any communications today?
None at this time, Madam President?
Any reports?
Yes, Madam President, I do have a report, my administrative report. I'll start off before we get to the board committee reports, if anybody wants to report out. As you know, we are living and educating in unprecedented times.
Here.
Thanks, Rich. Thanks. Oh,
No.
so during this unprecedented time, we've tried to communicate with our families as often as possible. I encourage everyone to watch channel 15, local channel, see the mayor update. It includes the Board of Ed. I represent the Board of Ed, giving the district's update as from everything to from food distribution to answering questions about state testing and our plans about going forward and what is going on in the district. So I want to report a little bit out again today, repeat some of what I reported out this morning. Our food distribution will continue at the 5 sites, being Deerbrook Village Clubhouse. Second site, high school, where the theater entrance is. Livingston Park in the front loop. John Adams in the main parking lot. And in Linwood Middle School at the side entrance by the gymnasium. All sites will have a yellow bus, and a limited staff will be there to help distribute the food. Now, please understand, we've made some minor changes starting tomorrow. It's on our website. And before I even go further, we've really worked hard. Our professionals worked hard. Our site managers, our website managers worked hard. It is easy access from our platform, our distance learning platform, to our food distribution and all things about COVID-19 and what's going on in the state. Easy access, go to our webpage. It is broken up into 4 easy buttons to help guide you in any area, including food distribution, which I'm saying today. And we will tape this meeting as well. We tape the mayor's broadcast with our information. It's all up there. My letters communicating are up there, and we'll continue to provide as much information as possible. But again, starting tomorrow, the 5 sites that I mentioned, they're listed on our website, but it's going to be 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., 10 a.m. to noon instead of 9:30. Why are we making changes? Well, the governor has asked us to cut back essential employees. So starting this Thursday, March 26th, we will have grab and go breakfast and lunches, 2-day rations at the 5 stops that we I just announced and are listed on the website. 2-day rations. That will eliminate our staff coming in every day, opening up the kitchens every day, including a different rotation of kitchen personnel and custodial personnel, bus drivers, our drivers and our aides and our security. That'll eliminate the need for every day, because Thursday, we're going to have rations for Thursday and Friday. And then starting Monday, March 30th, we'll have 3-day rations, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We'll have the same grab and go, and we will not be there Tuesday and Wednesday, and we'll again be there Thursday. So starting tomorrow, it'll be Thursday, 2-day rations, and Monday, 3-day rations to cover the week, to minimize our access, our essential employees coming together and working but we still want to provide. We're here to provide. So you can see that we're reducing 10 o'clock in the morning, 10 a.m. to noon will be the new time. Thursday and Monday, starting this Thursday, 2-day rations, and then Monday, 3-day rations. And we continue to have a skeleton crew because we're asked to reduce as much as possible to work along with the governor's orders. We have over 1,100 staff members. Now with 8 buildings, we're down to less than 35, 30 on a regular basis. And that's only mainly because of the food distribution. So we even reducing that further because of our commitment to follow the governor's order. I do want to talk to people, speaking of the governor's order, the governor released just yesterday, no state testing. We anticipated that. We worked hard to relieve some stress, relieve the parents, our staff, and our students. We have many staff members who work with all children, and they have been stressing and putting themselves under pressure because this is meaningful, high stakes testing. Now, they'll be committed to the rigor of our lessons and our curriculum, but we do not have to worry about our high stakes testing, as the governor applied for a waiver at the federal level and it was approved. So this year, no high stakes testing. I will be announcing and putting out a communication Thursday for the community about graduation requirements. We're going to be putting out things like 4th marking period grading. How's that going to play into it? How's the 3rd marking period going to end? What about GPAs for the high school? We're in very good shape at the elementary K-5 organization because we do standard-based report cards. We're going to continue monitoring report cards as we meet the standard for the various subjects. We're talking about virtual field trips. We're also discussing right now, what are we going to do with our spring break? People don't have to travel right now, but people are emailing us, telling us they're really stressed out with the overwhelming amount of work their students have to do. And then we have some families are saying, we want more work. So we got to find that balance. So parents and families and staff and students have a good balance, that we're not compromising the integrity of our learning, but we're also managing to consider the social and emotional and the mental health of all our families, our community. So we will continue to balance that. We'll have more answers as we go along. I want everyone to know, the board knows this, but I want the community to know that I'm on the phone. Our commissioner asked me to be on his task force, so we have a communication tomorrow for more updating. I just meet twice a week with our superintendents around Middlesex County, and we're talking with the South Brunswicks of the world and the New Brunswick and the East Brunswick and Metuchen, and we're talking with districts. What are they doing? What's their feedback? So we're just getting a good sample collection of feedback, and we want to make sure we're not putting our children at a competitive disadvantage, but we're also making sure that if we have solutions to some of that balance we're talking about, whether it's virtual field trips, how do we include more music and arts? Do we have a literacy day where we get children to get books and just read and stay away from direct instruction? Because part of my report tonight, Monday, March 30th, we start with our direct instruction, more in the Google Classroom, original lesson, direct instruction, lesson planning is going on. We are meeting with our staff. They are meeting at grade levels, and we will endeavor to begin the 4th marking period with a little more enhancement of what we've been doing on our remote distance learning platform. Now, part of that is we need cooperation from all families. You'll be getting forms that say, here are the rules for distance learning. We do not want to compromise your privacy. We do not want to compromise the security of our staff, where their interactions with students. We certainly don't want things going on where students are in their pajamas or students are in their bedrooms. We need to have some baseline rules that when they meet, we're in a appropriate place within the house that they can have their lessons. So we're going to have parents sign off so we can make sure that we coordinate, calibrate, and have the same set of rules pre-K to 12 throughout the district. And so we're excited about the many things that come forward. The one thing I want everyone to know, this is our new school. This this is what we are planning for. We are going to enhance. We're looking at and extracurricular activities for all our students. How can we continue to enhance, just like if we were in a physical brick and mortar building? So we will continue to connect with the community. Our staff will connect with the classrooms, and our principals will connect with the building staff. So you please turn into Channel 15 every morning. Please look at our website. It will get to many, many questions that you may have regarding our platforms, and many questions are, you may think they're individually based, but or slanted, but you have many questions are repeated because I think we all have the same concerns for our children and for graduation requirements and things like that. So we're going to put out as much information out there, but if you don't see an answer, please call your building principal. They will contact central office, and we'll get those answers out to all the community, everyone in the community, via broadcast, via letters, via the website. So we'll continue to make those connections. With that, Madam President, I'm going to unmute you, and that concludes my report for now. Madam President, you have the floor.
Thank you, Dr. Sikowski.
We need to go through the, anybody has committee reports?
Yes. Do we have any committee reports this evening? Please raise your hand.
I see
If you have a
Mr. Curry
report.
raise his hand. I'm going to unmute him. And then Mr. Liu raises his hand. Hold on, Mr. LaGoria. Yep, let me unmute you. And thanks for your patience, folks who are listening in. As some reason, I'm having trouble unmuting Rich. And I'm not doing that on purpose, Mr. LaGoria. I'm trying. There you go. You're good. You're unmuted. And Mr. Liu has his hand raised. We'll go to him next. Okay,
Mr.
Mr.
LaGoria.
LaGoria, you're on. Mr. Rich?
You want me to go first?
Yes.
There's operations committee met on Wednesday, March 11th.
Rich, can I stop you?
Among the items we discussed, there's
Rich?
2 on this evening's agenda.
Mr. LaGoria, I'm going to have to mute you. Your connection is not legible or understandable. I'm sorry about
Okay.
that. I'll bring up the, were you going to give the business operations report, Mr. LaGoria? You're frozen right now. So are you using a phone by any chance? Would you be able to call in if you used a phone, Rich? No, there's a number, maybe you could call in. We'll go to Mr. Liu to do his report, and then if you could leave the meeting and call back in, I think we could do you through the phone. Okay. Mr. Liu.
All right, thank you. The curriculum committee met on March 9th. Just real briefly, we went over the curriculum budget update, as well as the CAR initiative update, CAR being the Connected Action Roadmap. Some of the things discussed were pilot math, kindergarten, first grade, talking about working with the same objectives and teach with strategies towards objectives. Talked about the one-on-one update for 11th and 12th grade, and how we're looking to bring it into 11th and 12th grade next year. Right now it's in 3rd through 10th grade. Talking about the last year of lease purchase for the one-on-one devices. Got an update on that. Got an update on distance learning, and some new Linwood ELA recommendations. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Liu. I think Mr. Brooks, I saw your hand up. You're
Yes, I'm ready.
okay.
Dr. Z, can you hear me?
Yes, we all can hear you. You're loud and clear. Thank you.
All right. Okay, so the Policy and Regulation Committee met on March 9th. And during that meeting, we discussed we discussed policy and regulations centered around domestic violence, health and physical education, and administration of medication to students, This evening, everyone is being presented with the first reading for adoption of these policies and procedures around domestic violence, health and physical education, as well as administration of medication. That ends my report, Madam President and Dr. Z.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, Mr. Brooks. I'm going to mute you. I didn't see if Rich, you want to try again, Rich? I'm going to unmute Mr. Liguori. Okay, Mr. Liguori. Rich?
Can you hear me?
Unfortunately, no, sorry. Do we have any other reports? Well, Mr. Liguori, I'm going to, if you mind, I'll give a little bit of our business operations report. Mr. Liguori gave me, now we'll go do it the next meeting, I guess. Okay. Madam President, I don't see any hands raised for any other meetings. If I do, can I add to this, board members, that I'll be sending out and we'll start doing our virtual committee meetings. We won't stop, and we'll have a full slate of report out for our next virtual board meeting. So you're not going to get off the hook. We're going to make sure we have our committee meetings virtually as well. So thank you, and we'll give out. Madam President, that I don't see any more hands. Our administrative report and committee reports are complete. So you're going to need a motion. If everyone can, I'll unmute our board members. Ms. Gonzalez, if you could ask for a motion.
Yep. May I have a motion, Ms. Keefe, may I have a motion to approve the administrative committee reports, please?
Yes, Madam President, I would like to make a motion to approve the administrative and committee reports.
Second.
That was second by Mr. Brockman.
Yes, and I will begin the roll call.
Yes, I'm muting.
Yeah, I neglected to mention to everybody that we will be going through roll call for all of the votes this evening.
Okay.
Mr. Brockman,
Yes.
Mr. Brooks,
Yes.
Ms. Cortez,
Yes.
Mr. Duran Harris,
Yes.
Ms. Keefe,
Yes.
are we going to unmute Mr. Liguori?
Yeah, well, I'll just ask Mr. Liguori raise his hand for a yes.
Mr. Liguori, if you're a yes on the committee reports,
Oh, he's not answering.
Mr. Liu,
Yes.
Ms. Rubin? Ms. Rubin?
Oh, she's muted. Sorry, Tracy.
Yes, it's okay.
And Ms. Gonzalez?
All
Yes.
right, I'm still
Motion
trying to work-
passes.
I'm working with Mr. Liguori here. Hold on one second. I don't know
Sure.
why I'm having trouble unmuting him. I think Rich is there. Rich?
Yes.
Oh, he's very
Oh,
nice.
clear.
Wait,
Nice.
we just accept the reports. Can you give your report? We're glad to change. This is, our maiden voyage. Trying to avoid the SS Minnow and it's.
Yeah, I apologize. I'm on my third device here. The Business Operations Committee met on Wednesday, March 11th. Just two items of note. There's an $18,000 change order on page 9 this evening. And we have also on page 9, the bid for phase 1 of the Linwood alterations at $850,000. That's my report. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Liguori.
Nice and clear.
We're gonna need a motion to accept and add that to the report. So I'm gonna unmute everyone.
So moved.
Tracy made a motion.
Yes.
Second,
Who was that? Is that
Mr. Brooks.
Mr. Brooks seconded?
Got it. Here we go. Ready.
Let's slow up, Miss Hock. You're a little fast. So far, I think we have everyone unmuted. Yep.
Yes,
Good.
sir. Here we go.
Go ahead.
Mr. Brockman,
Yes.
Mr. Brooks,
Yes.
Ms. Cortez,
Yes.
Mr. Duran Harris,
Yes.
Ms. Keefe,
Yes.
Mr. Liguori,
Yes.
Mr. Liu,
Yes.
Ms. Rubin,
Yes.
and Ms. Gonzalez.
Yes.
Oh, it's been accepted. The
Okay.
report's accepted.
Thank you. I'm muting everyone except I'm going to unmute Miss Gonzalez to continue.
This is the public section of our agenda.
Yes. I do see a hand raised. Madam President, this is a public session on any matters, agenda or not. I see a hand raised. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to unmute Rona's iPad. And please, as we have in our normal Board of Education bylaws, please state your name and identify yourself. And you have 3 minutes, as we want to make sure we get to everyone if there are enough comments. But so I unmuted Miss Rona's iPad.
Hi, it's Rona Hales.
Oh, I thought that was you, Miss Hales. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you, Dr. Z?
Good.
Good. I'm just calling as a concern. Although my daughter already graduated, but there's some kids who are still, seniors, and they're really, from what I'm understanding from my friends, they're depressed and everything. So is there some way they can reach out to the kids, or the kids can call somebody, not just email, because email is not always, Is there any way they can reach out to someone?
Our current seniors, or the seniors, people that just graduated?
No, current seniors. No, not the ones who graduated.
Yeah, so that's a great question, and I reported today on the yesterday on the broadcast that I was very concerned, and my heart went out to our seniors, because no one should end their year with losing their prom, possibly high school graduation. This is the best time, and some people came back at me and sent me emails saying, hey, wait a minute, everyone's losing something. And that's true. We're losing Stokes trips. We're losing 8th grade move up, but losing our seniors, they're going into the adult world. This is a long journey. It was an arduous journey, pre-K to 8th, 12th grade, long. So yes. So what we are doing, Miss Shiroka's online. We're doing our meeting with our guidance counselors, our social workers. We're setting up some type of a check-in, so our seniors have someone to talk to. We're asking the principals, which Mr. Neller did, to kind of connect. We're asking our coaches, our co-curricular advisors. We're asking our teachers to start connecting with our folks and trying to bring back some kind of normalcy. But it is heart-wrenching to think about our seniors, who this is unexpected, unprecedented, never happened before. So it's disappointing that it happened but it is a global crisis, and we can never compromise on the safety. So being the fact that we can't do anything collectively in a gathering, we're going to do everything in our ability and utilize every technological support to give that support and give that release and that avenue to our seniors. So yes, more to come on that. But I know Mr. Roca has talked to our guidance folks, not only in the high school, but also at the K-8 guidance, to start setting up those type of avenues and support groups for those seniors who just feel so disappointed that they lost what is a wonderful time in their life.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Miss, and thanks for joining us, Miss Hales. So
You're welcome.
Okay. So Miss Hales has been muted. I appreciate her coming on, very supportive, and works in the district, and has 2 graduates, 2 alum from our district. So thank you, Miss Hales. I don't see any other hands raised. I see a couple visitors, KB and Liz, and a couple other visitors, but do not see any hands raised, Madam President. I do want to say one more for the good of the order during this public comment session. Good Morning America did a wonderful, I gave the link to the board members. It's a wonderful news story about a potential case of bullying and how it was handled by a family, and more importantly, how it was handled by one of our teachers, who is absolute star and caring, and took a potential issue with a Asian American, in which, with this virus being, identified wrongly as just an Asian virus, is a global virus. A child was picked on, so to speak, and rather than just try to defend that, we had a great discussion with the families, The teacher brought in, and without identifying the child, did a wonderful lesson that Good Morning America wanted to do a story based upon what the parents of that child experienced. So kudos to Miss Stacy Oliveri. Publicly, I want to say thank you. I know all our teachers are doing wonderful things. I'm hearing, if you could look on John Adams and look on our website, they do a newscast. Other schools are getting into the newscast. Our teachers are going above and beyond. We're trying to do our best to call in and help our students, just so there's a touch, interpersonal touch of reality and getting back, because this new normal, new schooling is, it's not what we wanted, not what we expected, but we're going to do the best we can. So thank you to Miss Oliveri and all our staff members. And when I say staff, folks, it's not just our faculty, our aides, our heroes that are delivering food, our custodians, maintenance who are cleaning, our bus drivers and bus aides who are delivering, our security, our administrators, everyone. We're very lucky here in North Brunswick that we are making a concerted effort. And yes, there are some bumps in the road. Some folks are sending me, how about this? What about this issue? I've experienced this issue. Well, for every one of those, and we address it, and we want to address it because we want to learn. Maybe we are doing something and we need to get better at. But for every one, we get 20. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Z. Please pass on that message. Our president wrote a wonderful letter to our staff representing the full board sentiment about their work, their help, their focus. And I second that. I know the board members are in complete agreement with that letter, thanking them, their attitudes, their adaptability, taking their skill set in this unprecedented time, their caring, their empathetic concern, putting our children over their own families first. So we thank everyone. I thank the board for their support. I thank Ms. Gonzalez for that letter. And again, thank you to Ms. Oliveri for, again, representing us on a national stage, what really value added our teachers bring to the classroom. And learning isn't just in a curriculum. Sometimes it's about what's right and that social emotional skill of helping children regulate and be self-aware. So with that, Madam President, I do not see any hands raised, any call-ins. So we're going to need a motion to close the public portion of this meeting.
So moved.
Mr. Brockman he made a motion. I'm unmuting everyone as we speak, so bear with me.
I have a second.
Second.
Who was that said it second? Ms. Cortez was second that motion.
Yes.
And I think we're ready. I think I have everyone unmuted for a roll call.
Mr. Brockman,
Yes.
Mr. Brooks,
Yes.
Ms. Cortez,
Yes.
Mr. Durant Harris,
Yes.
Ms. Keefe,
Yes.
Mr. Legori,
Yes.
Mr. Lou,
Yes.
Ms. Rubin,
Yes.
Ms. Gonzalez.
Yes.
The public portion is closed.
Thank you.
Ms. Gonzalez, you are unmuted and you have control of the meeting as we move along to item 11.
Yep. Mr. Duran Harris, would you take item number 11, please?
Oh, let me unmute. Sorry, Mr. Durant Harris. There you go. You're unmuted. Barry.
All right, thank you. I'd like to make a motion to approve the following consent agenda items: personnel, curriculum, finance 1 through 3, miscellaneous, policy, and transportation is listed.
Second.
That was Mr. Legori. Ms. Hawk, that was Mr. Legori. Mr. Harris, Mr. Durant Harris made the motion. Mr. Legori second that.
Yes. Mr. Brockman,
Yes.
Mr. Brooks,
Mr. Brooks is not unmuted. My apology. Mr. Brooks, you're good to go.
Yes.
Ms. Cortez,
Yes.
Mr. Durant Harris,
Yes.
Ms. Keefe,
Yes.
Mr. Legori,
Yes.
Mr. Lou,
Yes.
Ms. Rubin,
Yes.
and Ms. Gonzalez.
Yes.
All motions pass.
Thank you.
I'm going to leave the board members unmuted at this time because we're heading towards the end of our first voyage together. Madam President?
Did that include the policy and transportation pieces?
We got it. We're on the number 11. We left the closed session there, but I know you have comments about the closed session. We have,
I'm sorry, can you repeat, Brian?
yes, we have, we left a motion to go in closed session, but there's no need to go in closed session. So I'm turning it over to you. We left
Very
it,
well.
but we're not going to go into closed session. No closed session items for this meeting.
Very well, well then, I'll go into our closing statement.
Yes.
Very well. So on behalf of the members of the North Brunswick Board of Education, we thank all of our listeners for their participation today and wish for all in our district and your loved ones, wherever they may reside, health and strength during these trying times. I want to also echo the words of Dr. Sikowski in thanking our staff. It has been an unbelievable experience watching them execute on our remote learning process. I'm so proud of the work that this district did to be prepared and to be ready and to be available to our students across all grades. Other districts are struggling with this process, and we, with your help, have executed flawlessly, and we should be proud of our accomplishment. So thank you all.
Madam
And,
President,
sir,
I think Robert Frost said it best, and I know I speak for the staff. We are proud. We thank you for your support. We thank you for the township support. But Robert Frost said it best. We got miles to go before we sleep, and we're going to work as hard as we can to continue to do that and provide the best for our community. And so again, thank you for the support. Thank you, all board members, for your support. And I'm going to unmute all of you because I think we have one other motion to do, Ms. Gonzalez.
oh,
And this
would that be the adjournment
that
motion?
would be the adjournment.
Very well. May I have a motion for the meeting to be adjourned?
So moved.
Mr. Brockman, and I believe Ms. Rubin seconded. So we'll just do a quick practice right around the horn. Everyone should be ready to go.
Here we go. Mr. Brockman,
Yes.
Mr. Brooks,
Yes.
Ms. Cortez,
Yes.
Mr. Duran Harris,
Yes.
Ms. Keefe,
Yes.
Mr. Legori,
Yes.
Mr. Lou,
Yes.
Ms. Rubin,
Yes.
and Ms. Gonzalez. Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Night.
Have a good
Thank
evening.
you. Good night.
Be safe.
Bye.